Afraid of snakes. I don't like snakes.
I'm afraid of kind of heights.
Confined spaces.
I'm afraid of ducks.
The ocean.
Dark caves.
Spiders.
Rats, mice.
Women.
So a phobia is normally a fear that is triggered by a situation or something that somebody might feel threatened by.
Fear is what helps us survive. It makes sense to be afraid of poisonous spiders, venomous snakes, or even disease-carrying rats, because they all pose a threat. But some fears don't pose a threat at all, like masks or dolls. So does that make them irrational?
To the person, they'll be perfectly rational. It doesn't mean that it's not an irrational fear and can certainly be worked with. But for lots of people, their fear of that thing, whether it's a spider or going out, can feel and take over and be very irrational, but will be very rational.
I'm scared of like dolls and puppets and things like that, and it affects me because my sister's like 7, so she's got loads of Barbie dolls and things like that, so they always kind of like freak me out a bit when my mum's like, play with Amelia, and I'm like, no, I don't really want to do that.
My phobia is snakes, and it doesn't really affect me in daily life. It's just whenever I see a snake or think of a snake, it makes me go all weird.
I'm scared of velvet, and when I see it, it just makes me get a bit sweaty, and if I touch it, I'm sick, like physically sick.
A lot of the time it will be something in their past or a situation. So if somebody that doesn't want to eat because they're frightened of being sick, for example, it may be triggered by a situation where they were sick in the past, and so that memory will stay with them and then feed a series of thoughts that become irrational.
So when I'm in the bathroom, I constantly stare at the shower head because I saw one on there once, so I'm like, I freeze up and I have to like check it all the time.
I freak out a bit and then I scream and get my dad to come and take them away.
I don't know, they just creep me out. It's just the way they walk on, like, just they're hairy and they've got so many eyes and stuff.
Because they're small and they've got more than 2 legs and they just run around, and you see those things on the TV about how they eat away your legs in other countries.
I remember watching a film of like spiders crawling all over someone and going in the mouth and stuff, and I just remember just not liking it and just creeped out. And I found out that it's quite a common phobia and that a lot of people do have it, so I'm not really bothered that much about having it. So.
Yeah, when I was younger I used to play with them like all the time, and then I think it was an episode of Doctor Who that I watched, and there was like these weird doll puppet things, and I was like 9 maybe, and it just terrified me completely, and now I kind of have a phobia of the whole doll thing. Me and my friends went to the cinema to watch Mama, and it wasn't about dolls at all, but there was a doll in the scene, and I was just like, can you tell me when the doll's gone please, because I just really don't like them. It just makes me really uncomfortable. Like I don't play with my hands a lot, and I'm like, I don't know, I just sort of like trying to move away from it and things, because they just make me really uncomfortable when I'm around them.
I've just been scared of snakes ever since I was a little kid, and I've seen films about them. In primary school, they brought a snake, like a zoo, into the school, and they made me like wear the snake around my neck, and I literally could have started crying.
Everything, like the way it looks, the way it feels when you move it and it changes shiny or not shiny, that freaks me out. I just hate everything about it. I know someone else who, it's not like she's not like me with it, but she doesn't like velvet and she won't touch it or anything, but she's not as affected as I am. If I look at it, I'm okay, like it doesn't bother me, but then when it like comes near me, I get like really sweaty, like my hands sweat. Like I'm sweating now thinking about it. And then when I touch it, it just, it's just horrible. And then I'm like, oh, it's making me sick. I hate it.